social commentator, entrepreneur, and one of Nigeria's most outspoken voices on governance, accountability, democracy, and national development. Bold in her convictions, fearless in her advocacy, and never one to shy away from difficult conversations. But beyond the activism, beyond the headlines, beyond the voice Nigerians have come to recognize, who is Aisha Yesufu? What drives her convictions? What does she believe Nigeria must do differently? And what does she see when she looks at the nation's present and its future? Expect a powerful conversation that is candid, thought-provoking, revealing, and perhaps a little uncomfortable. This is Guest of the Week. Join us this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. only on Invicta 98.9 FM Kaduna. Invicta FM, the Victorious Station.
We know they carry fake news.
We are Invicta 98.9 FM.
Welcome back from that commercial break, and now let's go straight to reading out the headlines this morning. And we're starting with the Punch newspaper, and staying in Osun State, or rather starting from Osun State. Osun polls, APC accord wage 20,000 naira per vote war. Osun poll, APC accord wage 20,000 naira per vote war. The All Progressives Congress and Accord Party have been accused of engaging in a vote-buying jamboree across Osun State as agents of both parties offers voters between 10,000 naira and 20,000 naira ahead of today's governorship election. Saturday Punch gathered that unlike previous elections, the vote-buying started 6 days before the poll. NLC moves against pro-Tinubu group, queries Lagos chairman. NLC moves against pro-Tinubu group, queries Lagos chairman. A fresh internal disagreement is brewing within the Nigeria Labour Congress following a directive by its national secretariat asking affiliate unions and their officials to steer clear of the Working People United, a support group campaigning for the re-election of President Bola Tinubu in 2027. Still in Osun State, Osun poll, please embark on route march as INEC distributes materials. Osun poll, please embark on route march as INEC distributes materials. Officers of the Nigerian Police Force on Friday embarked on a route march in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, ahead of Saturday's governorship election. The exercise, which involved armed and unarmed police personnel, saw officers move through major roads and parts of the state capital in a display of security preparedness ahead of the poll. Atiku, Obi, others summit shifted to August 31st. Atiku, Obi, others summit shifted to August 31st. The proposed summit of opposition political parties convened by the G100 has been shifted from August 18th to August 31st, 2026 to allow participating parties to hold further consultations after the National Peace Summit. Tinubu dragged to court, EU over INEC documents. Tinubu dragged to court, EU over INEC documents. Former Vice President and the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Atiku Abubakar, has dragged President Bola Tinubu before the Federal High Court in Abuja, seeking his disqualification from the 2027 presidential election over an alleged forged National Youth Service Corps certificate. And talking sports, from the Punch newspaper, Ajibade Babajide promised Falcons comeback. Ajibade Babajide promise Falcons comeback. Super Falcons captain Rashidat Ajibade and forward Rinsola Babajide have vowed that Nigeria will bounce back after the team's below-par outing at the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco cost them a place at the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil. Punch Sports Extra reports. For these and other stories, you grab a copy of the Punch newspaper, either online or you go to a newspaper stand. The next paper is the Vanguard newspaper. And from the Vanguard newspaper, 2027, Atiku asks court to disqualify Tinubu over names, certificate controversy. 2027, Atiku asks court to disqualify Tinubu over names, certificate controversy. The presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Atiku Abubakar, on Friday personally appeared at the registry of the Federal High Court, Abuja, where he deposed to an affidavit in support of a suit challenging the qualification of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to contest the 2027 presidential election. This is contained in a statement issued by the Senior Special Assistant on Public Communication to Atiku Abubakar, Frank Shaibu. Outrage grows as stakeholders raise airport security, safety concerns over picketing of airpiece. Outrage grows as stakeholders raise airport security, safety concerns over picketing of airpiece. The decision of aviation unions to picket Nigeria's largest airline, Airpeace, Tuesday has elicited sharp criticism from stakeholders in the country's air transport sector, with many saying the action constituted serious safety and security concerns. NDC primaries. Leadership moves to heal wounds, avert defections. NDC primaries. Leadership moves to heal wounds, avert defections. The National Democratic Congress has commenced moves to reconcile aggrieved aspirants following its recent primaries, as the party seeks to heal internal wounds and avert possible defections ahead of the 2027 general elections. CIPM President calls for people-centered transformation of Nigeria's public service. CIPM President calls for people-centered transformation of Nigeria's public service. That stories on the Vanguard newspaper. The President and Chairman of the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, Malam Ahmed Ladan Gubir, has called for a fundamental transformation of Nigeria's public service anchored on innovation, accountability, participation, inclusion, and strategic people management. And this one is from the President on the Vanguard newspaper. Nigeria's refineries will soon bounce back, says Tinubu. Nigeria's refineries will soon bounce back, says Tinubu. President Bola Tinubu on Thursday assured Nigerians that the nation's refineries will bounce back. The president also lamented that the expected benefits from the introduction of compressed natural gas are going into the pockets of truck owners. This came as the president of the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, Comrade Salimo Akoni Oladiti, pleaded with President Tinubu to help stop the casualization of workers in the oil industry. Talking sports from the Vanguard newspaper, Alvarez left out of Atletico squad for Marseille friendly. Alvarez left out of Atletico squad for Marseille friendly. Atletico Madrid striker Julian Alvarez has been left out of the squad for the club's friendly against Marseille amid growing uncertainty over his future and reported interest from Barcelona. According to Spanish newspaper Sport, Alvarez's omission was expected as the Argentine has only completed 5 days of physical training with Atletico. For these and other stories, you grab a copy of the Vanguard newspaper, either online or you go to a newspaper stand. From the Vanguard, we pick up the Leadership newspaper. And from the Leadership newspaper, Osun State in the news again. D-Day in Osun, Adeleke, Oyebamiji, others state conditions for accepting poll outcome. D-Day in Osun, Adeleke, Oyebamiji, others state conditions for accepting poll outcome. The leading candidates in today's governorship election in Osun State have expressed confidence in victory, but outlined conditions that would determine whether they accept the outcome. While insisting that they cannot lose the election, the candidates said the poll must be free, fair, and transparent, with their supporters protected from intimidation. Marketers back Tinubu's call for productive refineries, flay $7.3 billion 32-year record of failure. Marketers back Tinubu's call for productive refineries, flay $7.3 billion 32-year record of failure. The Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria has thrown its weight behind President Bola Tinubu's call for refineries that turn a profit rather than merely show signs of activity, even as it tore into more than 3 decades of what it described as unaccountable spending on the same plants. Still from the leadership newspaper, don't just guard gates. Detect threats. NSCDC tells private guards. Don't just guard gates. Detect threats. NSCDC tells private guards. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has charged private security operatives to move beyond routine gatekeeping and develop the capacity to detect, document, and report emergent security threats before they escalate. 2027, Nigeria drifting towards dangerous electoral moment, says Ubani. 2027, Nigeria drifting towards dangerous electoral moment, says Ubani. A leadership and governance expert, Anthony Ubani, has expressed worry